Well, I feel like something's gonna blow up.
They're trying to get it ready for this event. From anybody that was working into the late night hours yesterday. Alrighty folks, for today's video, we pulled the transmission, fixed the flex plate, all of that is good. And now with 3 days left until our Wild Horses Roundup, I am diving into this thing, draining the radiator right now. Gotta pull the manifold to address a vacuum leak, and we're gonna see if we can get it all buttoned up in 3 days. So, not sure what's gonna happen. That's what this video is all about. Stick around and we'll kind of explain some of the things that we run into along the way. Alrighty guys, so we're actually making some pretty decent time. I think that I'm ready to yank this manifold off. It is theoretical at this point, but I've got this little pry bar right here. By little, I mean big pry bar. And my theory is I can use it to just kind of pry this manifold off, you know. I'm gonna give it a shot and we're gonna see if we can break through some of that, that silicone. It's definitely sketchy, but let's see what happens. Woo! Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Is this a new hack? Have you guys ever done that before? That was so stinking smooth, and we are golden. We are golden, ladies and gentlemen. That puppy is broke loose. Okay, so. With that, I'm gonna see what else I've got to do to actually get that thing out of the way, which I think might just be this thermostat housing hose, and then we'll peel her out and see what we're looking at here, folks. Okay, folks, so here's the gasket now. I don't know what a faulty gasket looks like, to be honest. Obviously we ripped this whole thing apart, so I don't know if it looked this bad during, you know, this whole process and problem, and this is what actually caused it to arise. Nonetheless, yeah, at this point they're shot. The cool thing is that I could have had this done probably within a day, except we have to order new gaskets. I'm gonna spend my time cleaning, seeing what else we're looking at. I'm probably gonna check in with the boss to see what he thinks about this whole deal. Alrighty guys, so I got the heads as clean as I could get them. I don't know if this is already an existing trick, but I used tape on the bottom of the head. That way, as I was scraping, as little as possible actually fell on the block as possible. And it did a pretty good job, actually. I was surprised. Now all we're doing is waiting for the gaskets to show up. We're not gonna finish the rest of this project today, because we only got a couple hours left before closing time. And I've got some plans tonight, or else I would work late and get this buttoned up. With how fast this actually went, and the fact that I have 2 days left before the roundup, I'm feeling kind of good about this project. But we never know what kind of hiccups we can run into. I'm just crossing my fingers that this will be the project where we don't run into those. So with that said, we're gonna wait for the gaskets and then we'll work on buttoning this thing up. So video is just about wrapped up. Obviously we got to turn the key and see if it fixed the problem, but we'll do that when those gaskets come in again. So stick around, folks.
So you do your silicone, just a nice fat little 1/4 inch bead, man. I would take your manifold and stick it in there, do a test, run your fat little beads in there, especially make sure you got extra in the corner. There's a torque spec and an order to do them. okay? Just look it up online. It goes like, you know, this, you got that right? The okay.
So the intake manifold is officially torqued down. I see a good bead of silicone sticking out this side. I'm hoping it's the same on the back. Pretty clean, pretty smooth. Now I've just got to start buttoning everything else on while trying not to jolt this thing around too much to let that silicone just kind of set like it should. So that said, I'm just gonna keep on bolting stuff down, bolting it together. There probably shouldn't be too much else that I have to highlight here aside from once it's all put back together, again, turning that key and seeing if this thing will in fact do what it's supposed to. So obviously that'll be a tomorrow thing. I'm gonna spend the rest of today putting everything back on, and tomorrow we'll turn that key and everything will do exactly what it's supposed to. Stick around, guys. Let's see if we fix this problem. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. Everything is buttoned back up, super smooth, way easier than I actually thought it was gonna be. All that's left to do is put in coolant and turn the key. At this point in the video, I would request that you guys cross your fingers, say some prayers, because it's Friday and the roundup is tomorrow. Alrighty guys, so that is as topped off as it can be. Now the scary part. Let's just do it. Let's just turn her over. Okay. I'm nervous. This is it.
Well, I feel like something's gonna blow up. That's good. That's good. Interesting.
Any ideas, Johnny? I was joking when I said something was gonna blow up.
That's why I asked him if he messed with the distributor.
I mean, I took it out, but
That's what it is. It's not lined up. You either got it advanced or retarded.
I bet you that when you pulled it out, the gear turned.
Yeah.
And then you put it back. So it's that.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you need to pull out number one plug.
Find top dead center.
Yeah, put up top dead center,
Number one.
and then put your rotor to number one.
So you know what I think happened, guys? Is I think some of you guys didn't cross your fingers. But we've got new spark plugs coming in. We've got some oil coming in because I'm gonna have to change the oil just because this thing was running so rich. For right now, we're just trying to find top dead center. So, had to replace these spark plugs because those were pretty jacked. Fuel fouled is the term for this, obviously. The way it was explained to me was because of the vacuum leak, the engine's sucking in way more air than it needs. The EdelBrock ProFlow 4 is trying to compensate by just dumping gas in. But yeah, pretty gross stuff. At this point, everything is dialed. We're gonna turn the key again and see what happens here. It would be dumb, but it's a possibility. When I let off the throttle, it died. So, we did start up. For the record, I don't think it was the gas in the tank that helped. But, seems like holding this thing at wide open throttle gets stuff moving, so I'm gonna tighten some stuff up and see what else we could do with this timing.
Houston, we had a problem.
Alrighty folks, so we brought in the A-team. James was here, John Link made an appearance helping to diagnose this thing. And now we've got Morgan in the driver's seat, and we're gonna see if he's got the magic touch, because apparently I just don't. So go ahead, see what happens if you fire this puppy up. Huh? It didn't blow up! Rev it, give it a couple pit bull growls. I'm happy.
All right. Stick a fork in it, she's done.
So I'm kind of having a personal problem right now, and that's if I actually expose myself and fill you guys in on what the actual problem was.
Let you guys talk about Mitch's personal problem with it.
Yeah, you guys want to hear about my personal issues? No, you know what? I'm not going to expose my dumb self, because I've exposed that enough in this video. Just know the pit bull is up and running. All that's left to do now is drain the oil, maybe put new oil in if I feel like it, and drive this thing out to the roundup. So I am pumped. Today just got 10 times better, even though I am mentally exhausted from this stupid thing. It's been hours. We've been tackling and staring at this thing for hours, but she's good. So let's change that oil. Alrighty guys, so the oil is in the engine. I decided to put it in. Gonna crank this puppy over one more time, make sure it starts up, sounds good, and then spend the next 2 hours cleaning it and getting it ready for the show. But let's see what happens here. She may not be a 2.7, but boy, does she sound good. Alrighty guys, I think we are good to go. I gotta tighten up a few more things, dump another quart of oil in, and George is your uncle, or whatever they say.
Bob's your uncle.
George is my uncle. But anyways guys, thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate John, James, Johnny, my dad, everybody that came out and gave their 2 cents on what the heck was up with this thing. I literally told John yesterday when he popped in, I was like, no, you know, we're gonna have it done in 20 minutes, and it ended up turning into an 8-hour day. By the time you guys are watching this, the roundup will have been done and over with. I really hope you guys made it out. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, especially with day 2 unbridled. Stick around for all of that content that's gonna be coming out, and stick around for just more epic Bronco content in general. If you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you do. Become one of the horsemen. We would love to have you. And with all of that being said, we will see you out there on the trail.